The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars is an album about rock and roll. Its tracks deal with the different aspects of the rock and roll world and try to figure out what it is that made it such a sensation. The picture that arises is this: rock and roll is an ecstatic experience, as powerful as any religious experience. It is generated in the psyche of kids who feel alienated from the society they grew up in, and carry a certain shared sensibility inside them, a repressed inner self that they cannot express in the terms provided by their parents' culture. But then they encounter someone from an alien culture, who provides them with the music that speaks for that inner self, and by identifying with that alien, they are set free. The result is a sensation of eruption, as if your bottled-up spirit breaks loose, and that joyous eruptive sensation is what rock and roll is all about. Following that eruption, you also find other kids who are like yourself, and come together to share a bond of love and unity. But the rock and roll experience is a temporary thing, and the sensation eventually, and inevitably, fades away. After a while, the music doesn't cause the same joy, and the unity in the group unravels. You are brought down from the heights of rock and roll happiness, and back to the old and boring everyday existence. Rock and Roll Suicide, the closing track of the album, is the record that asks, what then?
Time takes a cigarette, puts it in your mouth. You pull on your finger, then another finger, then a cigarette.
The opening is a reference to the poem Chant Andalou by Manuel Machado, who wrote, "Life is a cigarette, cinder, ash and fire. Some smoke it in a hurry, others savor it." Meaning, you can either take your life slowly or burn it quickly. Our hero wanted to live an exciting life, to burn as brightly as he could, and after a few false starts, in which he pulled on a finger instead of the life cigarette, he finally found a way to do so. But now, his flame has burned out, while he is still a young man. What is he going to do with the rest of his life?
The water wall is calling, it lingers, then you forget. Oh, ho, 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 you're a rock and roll suicide.
Rock and roll is a joyful experience, but it is also a form of spiritual suicide. You can experience rock and roll when you are alienated, when you have an inner self that is repressed by society and provides the energy for the rock and roll eruption. But rock and roll also sets you free and transforms you. Your social identity now becomes compatible with your inner self, and the alienation is gone. And with it goes the ability to erupt and feel the ecstasy of rock and roll. For just a short while, you experienced something cosmic and got a glimpse at an existence of total, wall-to-wall happiness. But then it fades away and you fall back to the ground, back to where you started from, but worse. After you've put your inner self out on display and let it become just another identity, you lost the hope of experiencing rock and roll ever again.
You're too old to lose it, too young to choose it, and the clock waits so patiently on your song. You walk past the cafe, but you don't eat when you've lived too long. Oh no, 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 you're a rock and roll suicide.
Our hero is out of cigarettes, and his time is out of joint. Once again, Bowie invokes Chuck Berry's famous definition of rock and roll. Just let me hear some of that rock and roll music, any old way you choose it. It's got a backbeat, you can't lose it, any old time you use it. In Starman, Ziggy referenced these lines to tell us that he has come to bring rock and roll back, and even managed to deliver. But now his brand of rock and roll has played itself out, and we can no longer use it. Our hero tells us that he feels too old to lose it, and too young to choose it, Or as Jethro Tull would put it a few years later, too old to rock and roll, too young to die. After living the rock and roll dream, everything else loses its taste, even food. How can he now go back to live a mundane life when he knows that there's something so much better?
Shipwreck the snarling as you stumble across the road. But the day breaks instead, so you hurry home. Don't let the sun blast your shadow. Don't let the milk float rob your mind. They're so natural, religiously unkind.
Stumbling blindly through life, he almost gets run over by a car. Cars, of course, are an essential part of rock and roll poetry, a symbol of discharge and freedom, from the days of Rocket 88, considered by many to be the first rock and roll record, up to the modernized glam of T-Rex. But Bowie mentions cars only twice in the album, once in the opening track and once again in the closing, and he uses them to describe the shattering of the rock and roll dream. Who is driving that Chevy that almost runs him over? Could it be Don McLean, on his way to the levee to relive the glory days of rock and roll, only to find out that it had run dry and the music had died? McLean's American Pie, that reached number 1 on the charts just as Bowie was developing his Ziggy character, is another record about the death of rock and roll, but its hero at least has an alternative to fall back on, as he has religious faith. Our hero doesn't have that faith, so he remains a vampiric presence, hiding away from the daylight, a shadow of a human. Until...
Oh no, love, you're not alone. You're watching yourself, but you're too unfair. You've got your head all tangled up, but if I can only make you care. Oh no, love, you're not alone. No matter what or who you blame, no matter when or where you're sane, all the nights need to lacerate your brain. I've had my share, I'll help you with the pain.
In the pits of despair, he finds salvation. The beginning of the passage clearly paraphrases Jacques Brel's Jeff, in which the singer is trying to convince his despairing friend to get up from the sidewalk and start living again. We imagine our hero sitting on the pavement after being almost run over by the Chevy, when someone comes and picks him up. What Bowie is telling us is that it doesn't matter who you are and what your experience was, there will always be others who can identify with you, who can understand your pain. And one of those others now comes to offer our hero a helping hand and show him a new love. In other words, your life cannot be reduced to one cigarette. Life offers you an endless array of cigarettes, and when one is burned out, you will always have the possibility to strike another match and start anew. You do not commit spiritual suicide with rock and roll, as our hero thought in his tangled up head. True, you exposed your inner self and depleted it, but the inner self, as Bowie has been telling us for a while now, is not a fixed thing. When you transformed yourself and created a new identity based on your former inner self, a new inner self was created along with it, and can now be the basis for a new transformation, a new identity, a new joy. You are never too old to rock and roll when you're too young to die. There will always be ways to revive the rock and roll experience. Just like Ziggy once came as a hand that reached down from the skies to take the kids to heaven, someone else now comes to offer a hand to the post-Ziggy kids and ask them to turn on with him, to burn brightly once more in an existence full of excitement, beauty, and love.
You're not alone. Just turn on with me, and you're not alone. Let's turn on and be not alone. Give me your hands, 'cause you're wonderful. Give me your hands, 'cause you're wonderful.
And the sublime chord of hope and harmony brings the story to a close.